Hello, friends.
Hi, Tacoma.
How are you today? I just looked at the wrong camera.
Oops.
You know, friends, sometimes it happens.
It's okay.
We're going to check in with our zones before we get going with our learning. It's really important that every time you switch activities or go to a new lesson that you check in with your zone so that you can make sure that you are prepared and ready to learn.
Because things can change.
Very quickly, they can. Now we're going to play a little game with this.
Yes.
We're going to give you a moment to think, and then we want you to do what's called a still frame, where you pretend you're a statue, but in the feeling you're having.
Fun.
So you're going to act it out, okay? So I'll give you just a minute, and then I'll count down from 3, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Okay, Mr. Kevin, how are you feeling?
Scared?
It looks kind of frightened.
What are you scared of?
No, I'm not scared. It just, I don't know. That seems to be my go-to. It's like my, hey, how
Your
you
jazz
doing?
hands.
Wow.
It's my
Jazz hands.
It's my jazz hands. Yeah.
Nice.
So you're happy in the green
Happy.
zone?
Green zone.
Good.
What about you, Miss Oslin?
I was angry.
Oh.
Do you feel like sharing?
Yes, thank you for asking. I had someone say something that to me I interpreted it as not being very nice, and it hurt my feelings.
I am having the same feeling.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It's so hard.
it is hard.
But then I have to think that I'm sure
It
they
wasn't
didn't
intended
mean
that
it.
way.
They didn't mean
No.
it
Nope.
to
they
hurt
didn't.
my feelings.
Nope. And that's important to remember, that even though I'm mad, how would I want that person, how would I want them to be treated even when I'm feeling frustrated? And I would still want them to feel okay.
Yes. And be given what we call the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Positive
is
intent.
Positive intent. Yeah.
That means, friends, that they didn't mean to do anything mean.
Right. Still hurts.
And that's okay.
I'll be okay.
Me too. I bet I'll be in the green zone by the end of the lesson.
I bet.
We have a fun lesson today.
Me
oh,
too.
Do you love this picture behind us?
Yes, tell me about it.
Well, for Mother's Day, I went with Oliver and Mr. Wally to Point Defiance Park. And we got to see orcas.
That's amazing.
They were off over kind of by Vashon, but we saw their blowhole spray come up, and we saw them going in and out of the water. There's one, we could see the white underbelly because they were like flipping. It was really cool. And then we went into the forest, and Oliver likes to go hunting for dragons. And I was waiting for them to come down from the park, and I took this picture.
It's beautiful.
And so I decided, why not use it for TV classroom today?
I love it.
And we're talking about plants. And
We
so
are.
I was in the plants.
I love it.
Love it too. All right, friends.
Should we review our 3 personal standards?
Always, every day.
We agree to
Show respect, make good decisions, and solve problems.
Speaking of which, I'm solving a problem right now.
I noticed that the screen
Oh,
wasn't changing,
yeah.
Mr. Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
You might want to go back one slide.
Oh, we're just going to look
there
at
we
us
go.
3
There we go. Personal standards.
Problem solved.
Nice job, Mr. Kevin.
Mr. Kevin was doing number 3, solving problems and showing us respect by letting us know.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Kevin.
Anytime.
Okay. Now, another way we show respect here in TV Classroom is we take time every single lesson to honor the indigenous land and people of our area.
We do. And we do this by looking outside of the window and look at the sky, the trees, your surroundings. That means what's around you. Our physical space, that's where our bodies are, stands on the historical and ancestral lands of the Puyallup tribe of Indians. We acknowledge the Puyallup tribe of Indians community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. We make this acknowledgement as part of our work to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism and unjust treatment. Now, we talked a little bit in previous lessons about elders. And who our elders are and why it's important for us to honor our elders.
Yes. But then we also talk about future generations. Friends at home, what do you think a future generation is? If the elders are the people that came before us, they said the people that come after us. So why is that important? We might not be here anymore. So why does it matter?
Well, we want to make sure that they have a place to live where they
Yes.
can live and be happy and healthy.
Oh. And if we don't take care of the place and the people now, it might not be happy and healthy. So it's important that we show them respect by taking care of what we have.
And the people that we have. Got to take care of each other.
It's important. It's an important skill.
It is. It's really important.
It's not about just right now.
No.
We have to think further than right now.
Which can be tricky.
Hard, really hard. Second graders, do you have a hard time with that? I do.
I do.
Oliver thinks in seconds.
Yeah.
He has a hard time knowing from one moment to the next.
Yeah.
Because he's so little. He's a future generation.
He is. So we got to think about Oliver
And your boys.
and my kids.
Yeah.
All right. We'll continue our study of this
That's
very
right.
important topic. Speaking of important topics,
My favorite thing.
the scientific process.
Scientific process. We start by having a wondering, asking questions, making observations, reading.
We're going to do some reading today.
We are sharing data and ideas and things you've seen. So that's where we're going to be today, in that part. What are some other parts, Miss Oslin?
This is where we are testing ideas,
Oh.
coming up with an explanation, gathering data, interpreting observations.
That means looking at the observation and understanding it and drawing a conclusion.
And also revising our thinking.
Yeah, that's that whole I think I know. Oh, whoops, now I think I know this. Because scientists don't ever really know. They just think they know until they find new data.
And then we learn more, answer questions,
Satisfy that curiosity.
solve problems.
Oh, yes. We solve lots of problems with plants.
Yes.
So many problems.
You've been having problems with your plants.
But I think I solved the problem.
What did you do?
Well, the squirrels' friends. Do you have squirrels in your yard? We have neighbors that like to feed the squirrels peanuts,
Oh.
which is great and all. But one, that's not their primary food source. We don't grow peanuts here. And two, it attracts them to my garden to put their peanuts in my garden and then steal my flower bulbs.
Oops.
I kind of feel like Mr. McGregor from Peter Rabbit. So I've built a fence around my garden beds because I want to enjoy my pretty flowers. I'm growing them so I can make bouquets for my neighbors all summer long and like brighten their days and their weeks during the summer. And if they eat all my flowers, I can't do that. So anyway, but I've solved a problem using measurement. And I learned about squirrels and how they can't climb up like really loose fabric-y type. Like if I put like a really sturdy wall there, they'd be able to just climb up and over.
Like they could climb up their tree.
Right. I had to use this net, like their claws would get all stuck in if they tried to climb. So they don't climb on it because they know it's not, they like test it out. They know it's not sturdy. They won't climb. So now they're staying out.
What a good outcome to your scientific process.
Yep.
For you. And your flowers.
Well, they also move my flowers around. It's not good. All right, friends. How seed structures help them disperse? That's what we've been talking about.
Right. How are seeds built or made that help them propagate?
Disperse. Move around.
Let's do some review.
Of some.
Okay. We're going to review our big science word.
Oh, I kicked the fan.
Birds.
Disperse. To spread in a wide area.
A botanist, a scientist who studies plants. Germinate.
Ooh, to start or cause to start, to grow or sprout. I just love these words. I'm doing it right now in my garden.
Yes.
I just had my sunflower seeds, my new ones I put inside, are sprouting.
Oh, that's exciting.
We got really excited.
Botanist boogaloo.
You know what I'm going to do
What?
for tomorrow
What?
when we film?
Yeah?
I'm going to bring in some of my plants that are sprouting
That's a great idea.
because I have them
I'd love to see them.
in little
Yeah.
pots.
Do it.
I'm going to.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm a botanist and I'm here to say seeds are important to you every day. I study all seeds and how they grow, how they move and what they need are things I know. Floating, flying, flipping too, doing the botanist boogaloo.
Those are some really awesome moves.
Friends,
Mr.
I wish you
Kevin.
could see Mr. Kevin right now. He's doing I can't do it with my arm. He's like, woo,
Swinging around.
woo. Oh, so funny.
TV classroom.
So good.
See, we do this so that you see us as
Humans.
real people that
Here
you
we
can connect
are.
with and learn from.
And it's true. You know what I saw on Saturday?
What?
I meant to pick it up and I forgot. We were at Oliver's grandma and grandpa's house out in the yard. And you know those spinning seed
Yes.
pods? They had ones that looked different from one of the maple trees in their yard. And they were like all over the ground. And I was like, oh. And I forgot to pick one up.
Maybe could they take a picture of it and send it to you?
I will ask them to take a picture
Yeah.
and send it. That's a great idea. Thanks for having
I
a
would love
solution
to
to
see
that
that.
problem. But they were really interesting. They were a little bit different. Maybe I'll see if she'll throw it in the air and we can watch it spin
Oh,
too.
cool.
I'll ask
Yeah.
her tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we need to review our input chart
because
So-
there's lots of ways that seeds disperse.
yes, and we're going to read a book today about different ways that seeds disperse. And in order for us to have new learning, we need to review what we already know. Yes, Mrs. Wally?
So there's one thing that's not on there.
What's that?
Humans.
Humans.
Because farmers disperse seeds
They do.
in a way that's not natural.
We plant it.
We plant it.
Interesting.
I just boop, into my head.
Huh.
Sorry.
That is a way that seeds disperse.
It is. I'm sorry. We need to add that next time we do this.
We will.
I
right.
like planting in a little row. So friends, there is one more way. Humans, from the store.
Yeah.
We like collect them, package them, send them in the mail. They disperse through the mail.
They disperse through the mail.
They get to your house and then you plant them.
And that's how we can have plants growing in our yards or in our homes that aren't native.
naturally there. Like all of the dahlias I'm growing.
Oh.
And like if you go, that's why you can go to a farm and it's all the same plant in a perfect little neat row, but that's to solve a problem of needing food.
That's true.
Interesting.
So while we are reading our informational or nonfiction text today, your job is to be in your writing notebook, a piece of paper, or on your whiteboard. Your job is to be taking notes about what it is
Or
that
on your
you're
computer.
learning. Mrs. Wally, do you want me to go get the notebook?
Nope, I'm gonna go get it.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
You can, in your notebook, create a graphic organizer that has the topic or main idea. You're going to write down 5 new words that you learned while reading this, 3 facts that you learned. Think about what is the most interesting thing to you. You're going to make a text to self connection. So I'm predicting that Mrs. Wally will be making a lot of text to self connections as we read because she's been gardening. So she can think about how what she's learning in this book relates to her in her garden. We call that a text to self connection. And then you're also going to think about questions that you have. Mrs. Wally is going to be doing this in her notebook.
Can we do the rundown one more time
Yes.
for friends?
Topic and main idea. Make a good decision and start writing this down in your notebook too. 5 new words.
Ooh, new words. Okay.
Facts, at least 3. And then we're going to think about what was the most interesting thing.
Now, friends, I'm getting my headings on here first so that when Miss Oslin is reading interesting, then I don't have to be thinking about what was it that I was supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to write in this spot? That happens.
Text to self connections and questions. So when we're reading, if you notice that your brain starts to think about something, oh, this reminds me of, that's a good indicator that you're having a text-to-self connection.
That you need to write it in one of these categories. And for friends that really like to process out loud, because I'm one of those friends, get it written down so it doesn't leave your head, but so that other people can have time to process too.
I'm so excited to share this book.
Okay.
A Seed is the Start by Melissa Stewart.
Such a good book.
Some words to know. Take a moment to get to know these words. There's berry, a small, round, brightly colored fruit. It usually has many tiny seeds. A burr is a rough, prickly covering that surrounds some seeds or fruits. Fruit is the part of a plant that holds seeds. Nut is a fruit with a hard shell. What? A nut is a fruit? That's new learning. Most nuts have just one seed. Seed is the part of a plant that can grow into a new plant. It forms inside a fruit. And a seed pod is a fruit that holds many seeds. When it is ripe, it splits open and releases the seeds inside.
Like that one that was like and exploded.
Yes, the exploding one. A seed is the start of a new plant life. Bury it in soil and watch it grow, grow, grow. What happens when you plant a corn seed?
That just looks like what I eat.
First, the seed coat splits open. You see it splitting open in the second one. Then a root pushes down into the soil. It soaks up water and minerals. Next, a shoot pokes up out of the soil. The shoot stretches towards the sun. And the corn plant's first leaves, I'm going to start that sentence over. The corn plant's first leaves spread open. They collect sunlight so the plant can make food and keep on growing. And we know that process is photosynthesis.
And that's where my sunflower seeds are right now.
Oh.
That spot right there. The seeds have just split open and are just sitting there.
And
I'll
they're
bring them tomorrow.
collecting sunlight.
Oh, they are.
Plants grow best when they have their own space. That's why seeds have many ways of traveling to new places. When a seed sprouts under its parent plant, it may have trouble growing. Why do you think a tree, a tiny tree like in that picture, would have trouble growing next to its parent tree? The young plant may not get enough sunlight to make food.
Did you say sunlight? I was also thinking there's not space for the roots. It's just going to run into its parents' roots.
Oh, that would be a problem.
Those roots go really deep.
When many seed sprouts close, I need to restart that sentence too. When many seeds sprout close together, young plants struggle to survive. Some may not get the water and minerals they need. They compete with their parents, Seeds fly. Dozens of seeds form inside a milkweed seed pod. When the seeds are full grown, the pod bursts open. Then the wind whisks the seed away.
Oh, that's cool.
How do milkweed seeds fly through the air? Can you guess? Each seed has dozens of light, silky hairs. The wind lifts the hairs up, up, up. It carries the seed through the sky. Each dandelion seed grows inside a hard brown nut. The nut's long stem is attached to a clump of silky hairs. The wind can blow a dandelion seed up to 500 miles away.
Wow.
Oh!
So they think.
I'm sorry?
So they think. I've heard 30 miles away.
So we've had this conversation.
We had it with Mr. Ryan.
We did. About...
There's no way to track a
There's no
dandelion
way to track
seed.
500 miles.
And like we can't put little trackers like we can on animals.
Right.
So it's the best guess.
It's a best guess, yeah. Seeds spin and glide. This is like what you were talking about. When this red maple fruit is ripe, its stem will break. The fruit will spin and spin like the blades on a helicopter. It may travel the length of 2 American football fields. After the fruit lands, its tough coat slowly breaks down. Then its two seeds can grow into new trees. Look at these Asian climbing gourds. These fruit are the size of basketballs. They grow on vines in the rainforests of Southeast Asia. When a gourd cracks open, hundreds of seeds take flight. They glide through the trees. After a seed lands, its wings slowly rot away. Then a new vine sprouts.
Cool.
A gourd as big as a basketball.
I
guess
did
it's
not
like this
know
big.
that. That's pretty amazing. I want to go see those.
Maybe that's one of the most interesting things that students will read in this book.
Mhm.
Seeds tumble and spill. I know that because I can see the next page. As a Russian thistle's fruits grow, the plant dries out. Its leaves turn brown. Then its stems break away from the roots. When the wind blows, the plant rolls across the land. People call it a tumbleweed. A tumbling tumbleweed scatters its 250,000 seeds far and wide. When a poppy blooms, a small round fruit forms inside the flower. After the red petals fall away, the fruit grows larger. Then it dries out. When the stem sways in the wind, seeds spill out of holes at the top of the dried poppy fruit. If they land in dark, damp soil, they will grow into new plants. Wow. Seeds splash. Marsh marigolds grow near ponds and streams, swamps, and marshes. After they bloom, seed pods form. When the seeds are ready, the pods split open. During summer storms, raindrops strike the seeds and knock them into the water. Splash! The seeds float to new places. Wow.
I just find it never thought before we did this unit that seeds would go in the water.
That is a new learning for me as well. And that it seems like just a perfect match that these flowers grow by the swamps and marshes, and the rain has to hit them to have them fall into the water to be carried away.
Right. It's very interesting.
Living stones grow in dry, sandy deserts. It's easy to mistake them for rocks until their flowers bloom.
What?
When the seed pods are ripe, they wait for rain. When it finally falls, raindrops splash the seed pods. Pop! The seed pods burst open. Water surges over the seeds and washes them away. I would never have guessed that that was a plant and not a rock. Seeds float. Have you seen yellow irises growing in gardens? A lot of people love these flowers, but irises grow naturally in wet places like this lake in British Columbia, Canada. After an iris flower withers away, a seed pod forms. When it's ripe, it breaks open. The seeds drop into the water and float away. Imagine a snowstorm of seeds.
Cottonwood trees.
That's what it looks like when hundreds of cottonwood fruits split open at the same time. Cottonwood trees grow near rivers and lakes. Their tiny fluff-colored seeds land on the water and travel to new places.
We have them here in the Pacific Northwest, and I always know when it's cottonwood season because it looks like it's snowing, but it's not.
Snowing in the spring. Seeds drift. The red hamburger bean vine grows in the rainforest of Central and South America. When the seed pods are ripe, they split open. 2 1-inch seeds fall out. How did the red hamburger bean vine get its name?
Look at that picture. It looks like a red hamburger bun.
From the look of its seeds. When the rain falls, the seeds are washed into streams and rivers. They're swept into the ocean and can drift for thousands of miles. Wow. Oh, look at this. People plant coconut palms in all kinds of places, but they grow naturally on warm, sandy beaches. Each coconut fruit has 1 seed inside.
Oh, wow.
When the fruit is ripe, it falls down, down, down. It might land in the ocean, or it might hit the ground and then roll into the sea. Air pockets inside a coconut fruit help it stay afloat. It can drift on the currents for days or weeks or months.
Wow.
The seed inside this coconut fruit shown here started to sprout during its journey.
Then it
That's
washes
amazing.
up on shore and then it roots and
Yes.
goes. That's why palm trees are on the shoreline.
And it has a
Wow.
structure within that.
That allows it to do that without
the
it
air
being in that
pockets.
big air pocket and in that shell.
Mhm.
It would just sink and then it would be done.
Yeah.
So cool.
Seeds pop. Look at these lovely little flowers. You'd never guess how a Himalayan balsam sends its seeds into the world. When a breeze blows or an animal passes by, pop! The seeds burst out in every direction. They may blast up to 15 feet away.
Okay, can we do something?
Yes.
Can we pretend to be the seed popping?
Yes.
Okay, on my countdown, friends, we're gonna pretend to be, what was this called?
It's a Himalayan balsam.
We're gonna be a Himalayan balsam, okay? 3, 2, 1, pop! Can we use a coconut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to the picture. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Hammond's gonna
Let
show
me-
the picture
let me
really
show the
quick.
picture.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Did you do it? Did you float and then grow? I hope you did. That was really
That
fun.
was really fun. And
Those
that-
are 2 fun ones we had to act out.
And that helps me better remember it because now I have some movement in my
Right.
body to help me
Some
remember.
of them pop,
And that's really memorable.
some of them float,
Sprout.
some of them, we'll have to go back and do a movement for each one when we're done.
Yes, that's
Okay.
a good idea. Okay. Seeds pop.
Some fly.
Some fly. A sandbox tree fruit looks like a small pumpkin, but
I
when
thought it was a pumpkin.
it's not, it's a sandbox tree fruit.
Oh.
But when the fruit is ripe, it explodes into thin pieces. Bang! The sound rings out through the rainforest. You can hear it.
That would be scary.
Each piece contains a large flat seed. It blasts through the air at speeds of 150 miles per hour or
Whoa.
241 kilometers per hour.
I wouldn't want to get hit with one of those. That would hurt.
The seeds may travel the length of 7 school buses parked end to end. Wow.
I don't want to be there when those are
No.
done for the season.
Ooh, they creep. Look at the lovely blue cornflowers. As their petals dry out, fruits form inside the flower. Then the fruits fall to the ground. Each fruit has a seed at one end. There is a tuft of stiff bristles at the other end.
Ooh.
When the air is dry, the bristles shrink. On humid days, the bristles swell. Humid days is when there's a lot of moisture in the air.
Yeah.
On humid days, the bristles swell. Thanks to these tiny movements, the seed slowly creeps across the ground.
So it okay, Mr. Kim, you got to show my hands. Friends, do it with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like this. Oh, you want your hands? Yeah, my hands.
Here we go.
So it goes like this. It goes humid, dry, humid, dry, humid, dry,
Oh my gosh.
humid, dry, humid.
I did not know that.
What a cool structure.
Yes.
Wow. Did you do it at home with me? I hope you did.
Seeds hook and cling. A burdock spur has lots of tiny hooks. When an animal passes by, the hooks get caught in its fur. Then the animal carries the fruit to a new place. When the fruit falls to the ground, it splits open. The seeds spill onto the ground. See the bulging green fruit below this burdock's pink flower? It is surrounded by a spiky covering called a burr. After the flower fades, the fruit dries out and its burr turns brown.
We've seen a lot of these.
Queen Anne's lace grows in a field and along roads. As its fruits ripen, they curl up to form a ball. Each fruit has 2 seeds on the inside. It has dozens of sticky spines on the outside.
That sounds painful.
Yeah. When an animal passes by, the fruits cling to its coat. The animal may carry the seed for miles. Seeds ride inside.
We've learned about this.
This bird, called a fieldfare, can't resist eating a tasty rowan berry. As it flies from place to place, the seeds ride inside its body until the bird poops. Then the seeds land in a new spot. I bet the bird benefits from that as well, huh?
Mm-hmm.
In warm parts of the world, many bats eat fruit. Their bodies break down the soft, sweet pulp, but not the hard, tough seeds. Each time the bats poop, they spread the seeds to new places. Because berries are small, a deer doesn't have to chew them. That means the seeds stay safe as they pass through the animal's body. So that's another structure, is that they're small, so the deer doesn't have to chew them.
Correct.
And it can be spread. A few days later, the deer poops out the seeds far away from the parent plant. Wow. Seeds ride outside too. When ants find a bloodroot seed, they don't eat it. They pick it up and take it for a ride. Where are they headed? Back to their nest. The ants share the tasty food packet on top of the seed. Then they dump the seed in their waste pile. That's good news for the seed. It's surrounded by rich soil full of rotting material. What a perfect place to grow. Miss Wally, this next page you might have a personal connection with it.
It's true. They definitely help disperse seeds.
Some people collect the seeds of plants they like. They take the seeds from home and grow them in their yards. Other people buy packets of seeds at a store. Then they plant the seeds in a garden. In the autumn, gray squirrels collect hundreds of nuts and seeds. They carry the food to safe spots. Then they bury it. During the winter, squirrels eat some of the nuts and seeds, but they forget about others. In the spring, the leftover seeds sprout. They grow into new plants. Like they're moving yours for you, huh?
And sometimes they move new ones from my neighbors to mine. But this is what I was talking about, right? Dispersing seeds with the humans.
Yep.
They put it in the book.
They do. If a seed lands in a good spot, it sprouts. When an apple seed sprouts, the tiny new plant stretches toward the sun. As time passes, the plant grows larger and larger. Now it looks like a young tree. Then it grows into a plant that makes more seeds.
And the cycle begins again.
Yes, an apple tree can produce hundreds of apples each year, and each apple can have up to 10 seeds. How many new seeds can an apple tree make in just 1 year? Thousands.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
All right.
Whew. So, how do seed structures help them disperse?
Well, they do.
We have a lot of ideas.
I don't think we have time to review today, but I think next time we'll review.
Yes.
Do you want to look really quick at my notes?
Yes.
To see what I wrote? Okay. I didn't really have any questions. It did a really good job of explaining for me.
Yes.
So I didn't really have any questions, but I said the main idea is seeds use many different structures to disperse. I had just 3 new words for me, which was burr, fruit, and seed pod. I thought those were very interesting. And then facts. Plants/seeds need their own space. Seeds spread in many different ways.
Yes.
And their structure helps them get to their final stop.
Yes.
Those were my 3 facts. And then most interesting thing, that nuts are fruit, and that there are living stone plants that look like rocks. I had no idea.
Yes.
And then I had lots of connections, but I only did 2, that the milkweed seeds look a lot like dandelions, and then you turn to the next page and it was dandelions. And then the poppy plants, that little fruit that's on the end, my roses do that too. It looks a lot like a rose seed pod at the end of a rose.
Interesting.
So cool.
So we have learned through input charts, through field trips, through reading, through a boogaloo, you are ready to write in response to our essential question, how do seed structures help them disperse? You can also go back to your inquiry chart. You should probably have quite a few things that you thought you knew.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to revise your thinking, or maybe you have more questions.
And the great thing about this being recorded is that if you want to go back and look in the text, you can rewind it and look.
and we would love to see what you come up with. Maybe you want to act out how seed structures help them
I
disperse.
would love it if someone would send us a video of them acting out the different seed structures.
Yes. You
It'd be the greatest skit ever.
It really would be. And it would help you better remember and understand what it is that you're learning when you have those motions that go along with it.
And next time we'll review them with motion.
We will. So Mr. Kevin's going to tell you 2 ways that you can send us your thinking.
Second graders, get ready. And go to your laptop and send us an email. And put in that email an attachment. And in that attachment is
This is like
maybe a picture
cookie.
of a seed. Whatever you want. Okay, TV Classroom at tacoma.k12.wa.us. You can also seed us with some mail at the TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Mr. Kevin
you,
always
Mr.
says
Kevin.
the silliest things.
Now it's time for our affirmation.
That was a lot of information all at once.
It really was. It was a heavy input day, huh?
It was.
Maybe we should think about how we can be creative with how we process, or that we are creative with how we
I
process.
am creative when I process new information. I don't want them just to sit and write. I want them to do something creative,
Yes.
like draw pictures.
Yes.
Or put a skit together.
Yes.
Or make like a diorama like scene of a seed dispersing of
Yes.
something you learned.
Make it into art.
Be creative. That's what's going to make it stick in your brain. And then write a little bit about what you did. Okay.
Take a deep breath. I am creative with how I process new information. Sorry.
Let's do that again. What are we going to say, Miss Oslin?
I am creative in how I process information.
I am creative. Okay, here we go. I am creative in how I process information.
Excellent job today,
Much
second
better.
graders. We hope you
Bye,
have a great
friends.
rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV classroom.
See you next time.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. You will get bonus points if you hit a grand slam. 5. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 6. Use your math skills to see how many points you can get. Good luck.
killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls.